So, just a quick video really. A fellow photographer, Rob Studdert on, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Rob, on the Pentaxians group on Facebook posted this morning, have you any New Year's photo resolutions that you'd like to share? Anybody who knows me knows I don't really believe in resolutions as such. My personal belief is if you want to change something in your life or something about yourself, you do it now. You don't wait till Monday to start the diet. You don't start afresh tomorrow morning. You do it now. That's how change really happens. But having said that, there's nothing wrong with forward planning. And that's what I think a New Year's resolution should really be. So you reflect on what happened last year and you think about what you're going to do in the year coming up. So to answer Rob's question really, 2019 was an unusual year for me in photography. I'm not a full-time photographer, but I do have a studio, which I opened in 2019, which is quite unusual really, I suppose, for somebody not to be doing it full-time. But basically I do enough paid work to pay for the studio, so it's there for me. But I opened it in 2019 and it was very important to me that it didn't become a financial drain, that it was able to support itself. So one of the things for 2020 that I'm thinking about is actually shooting more for me. I concentrated so much in 2019 after the opening of the studio to make sure that I had enough paying clients coming through to pay for the studio that I didn't really do as much as I would like for myself. So I'm hoping I can increase the amount of work that I'm doing just for me and broaden things out. But on the plus side, I did shoot a lot more than I've shot. And I found that things like my own strobes and things, which I've had for quite a long time, and I used to have to mess around quite a lot with them, getting them right, etc. That because you know the space and it's my space, I can simply plough in, set them up. I know the settings that they're going to need to be at most of the time. I still run the light meter across them just to make sure that everything's as I want it to be. But 99% of the time, I'm straight there in seconds. So I can shoot more and I can shoot faster. And I now have quite a big bulk of images where I've got client permission to share them, which means I can flesh out my portfolio online, which should help to make it easier to book more paying clients, which should keep the studio going moving forwards. I don't think I'll ever, or until I retire, go full-time as a photographer because I'm not sure I could earn enough compared to my other job to support my two small children and my wife, although she sort of supports herself as well, of course. So I'm not sure about whether we'll move to full-time photography. It would be nice, but equally it's nice to be a semi-professional, I suppose you'd say. If you're charging and got a studio, it would be wrong to say I was still an amateur, I suppose. But yeah, it's nice to be able to shoot for you and have that freedom and the flexibility. But in 2019, moving forward, I think I need to refine my offering for paid clients to make it simpler. I need to raise my prices. Now I've got more of a proven a back catalogue, more of images that I've got permission to share and prove that the work's there and that I can provide what people want. So the prices are going to go up and I'm probably going to simplify my offering. One thing I did was I offer family portraits sessions or general style portrait sessions in two packages. One fixed fee, you get one digital image. One higher fixed fee, you get 10 digital images. Now usually from an hour-long family shoot, because kids are crazy and you can get loads out of them, I'll normally be able to deliver 60 images for the client to select from that I'm happy to be out there with my name on there. So it's very easy for them to select 10. But what I've found is, when a client buys the package of 10, and most of them do, when I'm doing the shoot, I'm not thinking about creating the best possible image I can. I'm thinking about making sure I produce good enough images that they can select their 10 from and feel comfortable with. So yeah, I think I'm going to drop the 10 images package, probably raise the price a little bit on the one image package, because I think it's simpler for the clients looking at what they're going to book in the first place. I'll publish how much it is to get an extra image so they know what it's going to cost them, but it removes that pressure from me to produce volume. Should be able to just produce good work, and it should be simpler for people who actually have a very specific single image need, who want a single portrait for their wall. I had a client recently who that's very much what they wanted. They told me that beforehand and they still booked the 10 image package because it represented good value, I think. I think that's what I'm going to do there, and I think I'm going to try and allocate some time every week to arrange some sort of shoot for me. Joel Grimes, I watched his artist series tutorials just after Christmas. I bought them in the 5 day deal thing. If you're not sure what that is, Google it. And yeah, he talks a lot about self-directed projects and how they help you grow as an artist rather than just as a photographer, because that's how he sees himself, and I would like one day to see myself that way. Yeah, so I think I'm going to try and, I don't think I can do the 40 to 50 self-directed projects that Joel Grimes does. I have a very busy life outside of photography, but I think there's no reason why I couldn't do 12 to 20 in a year, really, if I just set my mind to it, work out the project, organise things and do it. I mean, I've got the space there, the studio's there sitting waiting for me to use. I might as well get the use out of it, and I hope that will help me to develop, maybe broaden my portfolio, maybe attract a different style of client as well, but even if it doesn't, it'll be good for me. And also I intend to try and take a bit more structure this year into my photography education. I'm generally quite bright and I pick things up quite quickly. I'm very much a believer in learn by doing, and that's how I've taught myself everything that I know, really. But I think another guy from Facebook, from the Pentax world, Eddie Summers, said something the other day about how in Photoshop he can do a lot of really advanced techniques, but he doesn't know a lot of the simple things because of the way he's learned. He's had a problem, he's gone online, he's learned how to fix it. So there is an old saying which I think comes from some Greek philosopher: you don't know what you don't know. So I think doing some courses that go step by step, whether that be written or online is probably better for my way of learning, to be honest. Step by step through the basics to the more advanced to the more sophisticated things, not just in post-processing but also in photography itself, I think would be a real benefit for me, because you don't know what you don't know. So I think if you invest an hour or 2 hours into just one lesson to try and learn something, if you learn one thing, then it's time well spent. So yeah, I think that's on the cards for me this year. I hope so. Anyway, that's the plan. Of course, life does have a tendency to get in the way of some things. So that's my plan so far for 2019 as far as my photography is concerned. I've got no real plans to buy any more gear, but I am thinking about selling all my APS-C lenses. I currently shoot a Pentax K1 with a Pentax K3 as backup for the bulk of my work. I've got a full set of lenses for both cameras. The K3 I feel is starting to short age a little bit when I compare it to the K1 when I've had to use it for certain things, because I usually dual wheels, I'll set two lenses up I'm likely to use in a shoot and I'll switch between the two. I think mentally, not having to constantly do the maths of crop factor, it would, which isn't complicated maths, fair enough. It would be useful for me to have two full frame bodies, and I'll probably head towards that in the long run. My full frame lenses will work perfectly. Range for full frame, get rid of my APS-C lenses, because obviously within Pentax you can stick any full frame lens on the APS-C camera and it's not a problem. So really I've just been using the wide end, because I think 24 to 70 is probably my widest full frame lens, which obviously scales up quite a bit on the APS-C lens. It's like 36 to 105, isn't it? Yeah, probably wrong. 36 to 105 I think, but I can live with that on the APS-C. With the ultimate aim of replacing the K3 body with a second K1 body. But that's just a thought at this point. I'll maybe hold on till Pentax announce a date for their new APS-C camera, which is going to be a new APS-C flagship, which hopefully is supposed to be out in 2020, although rumours are it's currently delayed, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Because if that's a great camera, then I might be tempted just to buy that camera instead and make that my backup. The current KP is not for me because it hasn't got dual cards, and I'm paranoid, particularly when somebody's paying you to take their photo. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of for 2020. Not really resolutions, more plans, I suppose. So what are you up to? If you want to tell me in the comments, I will read them all and respond, of course. Speak to you soon. Bye.